Nobume is my favourite donut-loving character in fiction, sorry Shinobu, and despite being a very late game addition to Gintama's main cast, I still think she's one of the series' best characters, with one of my favourite character arcs in the entirety of Gintama. So in this video, let us examine Imai Nobume, but before that I guess we should first discuss Mukuro. If you find yourself entertained at any point during the video, then consider liking, subscribing and ringing the bell, as I can explain to you how much such a small action can do for this channel. Also, if you want to support me further, my book Gang Fluid Justice is available on Amazon.com. Anyway, on with the video. Mukuro was a child raised by the Naraku. She was raised as an assassin, as a killer, a pawn to do the bidding of the crows. It was fine for her to kill, as she was an ignorant child. Mukuro's name literally means corpse, and this is very symbolic. Not only does she leave nothing but corpses in her wake, not only is she defined by death and killing, but like a corpse, she is empty inside. She is nothing more than a pawn and a killer. However, much like the demon who fed on corpses, the person whose name literally meant corpse was saved by one kind man, Shoyo. Shoyo is a greater man than anyone can realistically aspire to be, or at least that is what it looks like. But that's wrong, as everyone is born weak. It's up to your own struggles and perseverance that you ever become strong. And those words changed Mukuro. She didn't have to stay empty as a killer. If she struggled, maybe she could do more, become something more. And so for the first time ever, she chose not to kill but to protect. She disobeys an order and tries to protect a woman and her child. However, although she kills the attackers, the child and the mother die. Though that isn't to say she failed in changing herself, as this was the moment she met Isaburo. And she was given a job to kill once more, to when the time is right, kill him. Nobume and Isaburo's relationship is a touching one but also a tragic one. Both were alone and so relied on each other's company, and both carried great weight on their shoulders. Isaburo carried the weight of his dead wife and daughter and the message he could never send them, and Nobume carried the weight of Shoyo's words and of the name given to her by Isaburo. Nobume felt guilt for not being able to save Isaburo's family. She tried to protect but failed and only ended up killing again. Her life from then on is defined by killing. She may have escaped the Naraku, but she is still defined by her name Mukuro and of being a killer. However, Isaburo gave her another name, one not defined by killing. He called her Imai Nobume, which means belief and trust, the name he was going to give to his own child. However, despite being given a new name, it took Nobume a long while to finally change. The Mimawarigumi, as said in the Thorny Arc, aren't a police force who protect people, they're a police force who punishes people. And that really sums up Nobume's character at that point in the story. However, after meeting Gintoki and the lot, after fighting alongside them, she starts to change to want to not kill, but save. This culminates perfectly in the Farewell Shinsengumi arc, where Nobume orders the Mimawarigumi to retreat, to prioritise their own lives and to survive. This small moment really says a lot, as Nobume using the power she gained from struggling all those years, her power as the Mimawarigumi Vice Chief, the position she gained due to her choice to try to save her mother and daughter, due to staying by Isaburo's side, she was able to save lives. If she hadn't given that order, the Shinsengumi and Mimawarigumi would have fought to their death, and if that was the case, black and white would never have mixed. Her choice really changed the battle and saved many lives, as she is Nobume now, not Mukuro. She isn't a corpse, she wants to live. However, not soon after, Nobume experienced despair. Utsuro appears before her, the man who personified death more so than even her. The man who threatens to undo all she has worked for, the man who killed Shoyo, and the man who could kill everyone. But it gets even worse. As they escape, as the people are saved, Isaburo dies. He dies to push his brother and Nobume to safety. He was a man who wanted everything to crumble, for a new era to start, and to do that he needed the younger ones to survive, and so with that in mind, he had a simple choice. He pushed his younger brother and the girl who kept him company for all those years forward towards a new era and let himself die with the old era. Nobume promised to kill him, it was her duty, her name meant trust, so she had to honour their promise, but she couldn't, and he died. However, his death wasn't a breach of their promise, no, it was a gift. He finally freed her from being a killer. Her last order as an assassin was to kill him, but he wouldn't let that happen, and so she didn't do it. She didn't kill him, as she is no longer defined by killing, she is defined by saving. A large portion of the Mimawarigumi joined up with the Shinsengumi after this arc, and together they formed a stronger police force. Not one that only saves the people they know, nor one that only punishes people. They would become a force that saves everyone. And Nobume is a big part of how such a force came to be. Nobume doesn't do all that much in the Silver Soul arc, And that's no slight on Sadachi Sensei, considering how much focus and development she had in Farewell Shinsengumi, but even so, her few moments in the arc speak volumes. One of the most minor but in my opinion important being when Nobume pushes Gintoki out of the way of an explosion at the cost of her own body. As Gintoki says, this is out of character for her. And that is the point, as she isn't the same character, she is one that has grown. Through struggles she has become strong, like Shoyo said. She prioritised saving over killing, as she is no longer defined by death. She spends much of the arc injured from this selfless act, and so isn't in the action much, but again I think this speaks volumes, as what is she doing instead? She is by Princess Soyo's side, protecting her. As she is a protector, she will protect those who are important to her, just like in Toki, she will protect those friends that are precious to her. And even if it was just briefly, she was still a disciple of Shoyo, just as much as Oboro, as Katsura, as Takasaki, and as Gintoki. So of course when it comes time to fight Utsuro in that final battle, she is there. Utsuro is defined by death, much like Nobume had been. He was her past, and to get to the future you must first get past the past. She fights to protect Edo, to protect her planet, and to defeat her past and let Shoyo, the man who changed her life, rest in peace. After the time skip, Nobume becomes the Commissioner Chief, leading a new force that, as said before, acts to protect everyone, as that is what she did. She struggled and grew and became a better person who protects those she cares for. No, that's wrong. Not just those she cares for, she now protects everyone. As the first female commissioner, she is making history. No, she is making the future, as she lived on and redefined the era just as Isaburo had wanted. She made a new happy era as he desired, as she kept his legacy living on. By taking up his position and carrying on in his place, she didn't kill him in the end, but instead she carried on and protected his legacy and his will in order to protect and create a new era where people can live happily and freely. Where people can send all the emails they want and eat all the donuts they want. Where a woman can be a commissioner and a killer can become a loving and caring person. As it doesn't matter where you come from, or what happens in between, what matters is who you are now and what you are going to do in the future. Just like how Nobunobu became a true shogun in the end, and how Kami became a true big brother that loved his family. Murako stopped being defined by killing, and Nobume lived a life of protecting, saving and honouring the will of the man who she cared for above any other. As she ended her story on a happy note. And as she said herself, the last bit of a donut, and the end of a story, is always the best. Comment of the week comes from JC2, and thanks a lot. I'll try my very hardest to reach 1k, and keep the quality content coming. If you have any opinions on Nobume or Gintama as a whole, then tell me in the comment section down below. And if you have a suggestion for a future video, then again the comment section is funny enough down below. Also don't forget to check out my Twitter at SethTheSin for channel updates and just general chatter, and my DM is always open if you want to chat to me directly. Or check out my Instagram at SethTheSin_cosplay to see my cosplays of random anime merchandise. Also as said before, my book A Gang for Justice is available on Amazon.com, so why not check it out? So with all that said and done, I've been Seth the Sin, the Deadly Sin of Geek, and I'm signing out. Stay safe, everyone.